Yo, this is Night Lovell. You've now tuned into Hot New Hip Hop. Let's get it. I'm from Ottawa. It's like 4 hours from Toronto. It's the capital of Canada, so it's the capital city. I don't know what really, like it's a really like boring government type of city. There's nothing really going on, so like when shit happens, like kids love it, so I feel like I'm kind of helping to change it. It gets fucking cold, really cold in the winter. I grew up in like the city's in like a valley, so everything's kind of exaggerated. So the weather's really bad, but I grew up in like the west part of the city like my whole life, and I still live in the west, so. Yeah, that's pretty much Ottawa in a nutshell. Well, favorite part is probably the West. That's like my favorite, because I grew up there, so like that's like home to me. I don't know, it feels like home. Like every time I go to a different part of Ottawa, it just feels like foreign and stuff. Like I'm not used to it, but I don't know. All my friends grew up in the West and shit, so it's just like the funnest part for me. But downtown's cool to go to, there's shit happening, but other than that, like, it's very spread out, so you can't, like, you kind of live where you live, and if you want to go downtown, you go, but then you kind of duck off back to, like, the outside and stuff.
Do people recognize you back in Ottawa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. I don't really go to the mall, though, but I don't, yeah, I don't, like, I was never the type to go to the mall in the first place. I kind of just, like, stay home, but when I go out, people, like, recognize me and shit. Ottawa's home. It'd be cool to like have a house somewhere maybe, like just to have, but Ottawa's always like home, like in my head. Toronto's cool, but people just look at it as the only thing in Canada, which is understandable because you have like Drake, obviously, and he's like at the forefront, but I'm just trying to tell people that there's other places in Canada that are fire too. The night part refers to like me always like, I always make music in the nighttime, like in the day it's kind of weird. I don't know, it's just like that from the beginning. Yeah, I guess that kind of. So that's the night part, and Lovell's my dad's middle name.
Oh, okay.
Just put the two and two together, it has a nice swing. My dad was cool, he lives in Toronto now, actually. Okay. So he was cool, he made music himself. He's always like, music's like his first love, just like mine, so.
Did he play like an instrument?
Nah, he rapped.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he used to do like shows in Ottawa when he lived there, then moved to Toronto. He lived in like San Francisco for a bit, came back to Toronto. And my mom's cool too. She's just like the mom that's supportive of whatever I'm happy with doing, she's down with it, so she's cool. Inside hip hop, I have to say like Jay-Z and Biggie is like all I listened to in like when I was younger and stuff. So in hip hop, I have to say them. My dad, obviously. But outside of hip hop, like AC/DC is just fire, and I always used to listen to them too. So rock music played a big part in me wanting to make music. I used to be in like a band and shit.
Oh,
yeah.
Talk about that.
I used to play drums. It was this band called Voltage, so we were kind of ripping AC/DC off because we had like lightning bolts and stuff. But yeah, I used to play drums. My friend played guitar, and yeah. I made my first beat in summer of 2013.
What were you using?
FL. I still use FL. Yeah, FL. Yeah.
When did rapping come into the fold for you?
Late 2014 is when I recorded Dark Light. I always wanted to rap, but for some reason I was kind of like scared. So I'm like, hey, I might as well just make beats. Like no one will hear my voice, and I could still put music out. But I always dreamed of being on like stages and stuff. So I'm like, why not try this like rapping stuff? And I just recorded Dark Light, dropped it. I didn't think it would do anything though. I dropped it. I always liked beats. I didn't understand how to make beats. Like I didn't know that was really a thing until I researched it. So when I found FL, it was like amazing. Like I could do it myself. To me, that's what it should be, because you know they're not gonna go anywhere. Like there's no like fear that they might like, cause hip hop nowadays, like it's really like recyclable, you know? A fan could be your fan one day and then they just disappear. But that cult following is always nice, because you know like, if you put out music, they're always gonna be there to love the music, you know? Just a whole bunch of different songs, like not an album in particular, because I don't really have the inspiration to call it an album, but just a whole bunch of different music since then. Well, I always tell people like Red Teenage Melody was more like, not happy, but it wasn't as dark as my first stuff. I don't know why that is, but I guess it's kind of just how I felt at that time. But I kind of feel that going back to like the roots, like the Concept Vague days, like the darker type shit. So I don't know what triggers that, but maybe just staying inside all the time through winter. It has to create like a picture. So I don't really know what to describe it. As long as it kind of makes a picture in your head, then like my job is done, pretty much. I feel like it opened doors to like more people because it was more like there was more variety in that album, you know? So it kind of opened doors to more like lanes and stuff. So I guess that kind of in a sense grew my fan base. I was always the like shy kid in like school. Like I'd skip class on school presentations and stuff. Like I don't really like attention. So I was always like that from like the get-go. The only thing that takes me out of that box is performances. I don't know why, maybe the energy, but I was always the type of person that kind of stayed to myself. Like, I don't know, I feel like with blogs and stuff, it's okay because we're talking about music anyways, so it's not really weird or anything, but I was just always that to myself type of kid. Like after school, I'd go like straight home if people are staying, like seeing like the other side of the world is probably the most achievable thing. And being able to do things for my mom that I'd never dream of doing.
What have you done for your mom?
Just like stuff, like getting her stuff, like I'd never, yeah, like it's just,
What
it's
about
nice.
places that you've been? What are some of like the dopest places that you never thought you would have been to?
Like Russia and shit.
That's wild.
Yeah, and like random places like Lithuania. Russia's sick. The shows are always fire because they're just fucking wild out there.
I hear they have good fans too.
Yeah, they have amazing fans. You're never disappointed with a show in Russia and like Europe in general. I just kind of go with it, it comes with it. I'm always ready for anything, so
You seem laid back.
yeah.
Easy going.
Yeah, I'm just ready for whatever. Any genre, right?
Any genre.
Well, obviously AC/DC for one. James Cameron, but he's not an artist. Jay-Z would be cool to work with. Bob Marley, but he's dead. But I wish I would have worked with him. Rest in peace. And like Suicide Boys. Yeah, pretty much anyone. Like, I'm down to collaborate. I don't do it much, but pretty much anyone that wants to work, I'll work with them.
Do you have any collabs in the stash that like we don't know about?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Nah, I'll surprise you guys.
Have any like artists reached out to you that have been like, whoa?
Yeah.
You want to expand on it?
I don't know if I should, but it's definitely a stepping stone. It makes me feel nice when that shit happens because you know they're watching.
Oh, they're all watching.
They're all watching.
They're all watching.
Yeah. I feel that's kind of the part why, because first of all, everyone kind of lives in like America for one.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone likes being in the studio, and I'm not here that much, so it kind of, like some people don't want to work online, like they just want to be in the studio with you, so I feel like that kind of like stops everything, but I'm open to other people's beats too. And if I'm not producing it, I always have like a hand in it or critiquing, like I'm really like beat specific because I'm a producer myself. You could tell who really like, you could tell who's really talented and kind of just catching a wave because it's not an easy thing to do, to create like a very solid, good beat. Yeah, I'd sign for sure if it seems right. Why not? I'd sign. I just haven't, it's not something I'm like striving for. Like I try to keep it like, the most important thing has to be the music, you know? And if that comes around, then it happens.
Like if you could keep your creative.
Exactly, yeah. Not really a 2018 goal, but my goal is to obviously just be the best I could be, but it's just, it always stems back down to Ottawa, like being a hometown hero. Like I don't feel like I've achieved that yet. So it's not really a 2018 goal, it's just a goal in my life in general, to be a hometown hero. Yeah, I see like a mural of me downtown Ottawa or some shit, some fire shit like that. People taking pictures in front of it.